All right, so this is number 17 out of chapter 3.5. It states that the measure of each interior angle of a regular polygon is 11 times that, and again, it's important also that it's regular, 11 times that of an exterior angle. Now, how many sides does the polygon have? So, I'm getting a few pieces of information here. One, it's a regular polygon, so I know it's going to have congruent angles. Okay, and I also know that the here it states that the measure of each interior angle of a regular polygon is 11 times that of the exterior angle. Now, sometimes that's a little difficult to wrap your brain around, so I'm going to go ahead and just kind of draw an interior and exterior angle. So this is interior, okay, and it says that each interior angle of polygon is 11 times that of the exterior. So actually, I'm going to switch this to exterior since the interior angle is 11 times as big. I know the smaller angle should in fact be the exterior, and this here would be the interior. Okay. So in this case, I know if that's 11 times, that if this is x, then this has to be 11 times as big as x. Congruent. Okay. So I've now determined that whatever my angles end up being, okay, or however many angles I end up having, I know that each one of them ends up being 11x. Bigger. So if this is x, then this is 11x here. Now, we want to determine how many sides the polygon has. So from this, we should be able to develop two equations and then see if we can compare them. So first off, I know that the sum of all of the exterior angles, okay, is 360 degrees. So if we have, since we don't know it, we have insides. That means that the exterior angles, I can go ahead and make the statement that x times the number of sides in should equal 360 degrees. And if we think about this as just a number and that as just the number of sides, then we take the measure of each individual exterior angle, multiply it times the number of sides, and that should give us the total of the exterior angles, which we know is 360 degrees. Now, I notice that I have two variables, so I'm going to need two equations to solve. Well, I do also know that the interior angles have a particular relationship. Okay. That particular relationship is that if I want the sum of all of them, then it's going to be in minus 2 times 180 degrees. Well, that must be equal to, well, if each individual angle is 11x, then I can simply multiply that times the number of sides, and that should give me the total number of degrees that I have. Another way of thinking of it is if this is the total number of degrees that all of the angles share, okay, and I divided it by n, then that would give me each individual angle. So whichever way makes the most sense to you, you can go ahead and do. Now, I see that I have two variables here and two variables here. This is a much simpler equation. So I'm going to go ahead and just solve for one of my variables here and go from there. Now, one of the things that you realize is that we don't really care what x is. We're simply trying to find the number of sides. So I'm going to put everything in terms of n, and we can go from there. So I'm going to divide both sides by n. So I get x is equal to 360 degrees divided by n. Then I can replace each x in here with 360 over n, and I should be able to find my answer. So I take n times 11 times 360 over n. All I did was replace x with what it was equal to. And that must be equal to, I'm going to go ahead and do a second step here and just distribute this out since I know I'll need to do it eventually. 180 n minus 360 degrees. Now here you can see that I have one equation, but I only have one variable, so I'm in pretty good shape here. Okay? Now, if you multiply everything out, what you'll end up finding is since we have an n on the top here and an n on the bottom, those are going to cancel. Okay? N divided by n will just give us 1. And 11 times 360, I can't quite do that in my head. Okay, so we get 360 and 360, 0693. So this would be 3,960 is equal to 180n minus 360. I add 360 to both sides. I'm running out of room. And 0, 2, carry the 1. 3, 1, 4,320 is equal to 180n. And if I want to do this part, I'm going to bust out my calculator. I get that 4,320 divided by 180 is equal to, n is equal to 24, meaning that this polygon has 24 sides.